Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission. 'Tis I, Mike Martins, bringing you another very solid, informative discussion, housing, of trends in the housing market. Guys, I am tired, in case you haven't figured that out. Super tired. My mic wasn't working on the first go-around, so luckily I caught it right at the beginning. Yes, double A in the house for trends in the housing market, guys. Anyways, I got the bad news about David Icke. I did upload it to my channel, my main channel. I got a lot of people from Australia messaging me. Wow, my Stuck in Slavelandia one is doing really well. I just put it up not even an hour ago. So, yeah, David Icke, I have it covered. It's actually kind of important. Wow, it's not even showing up on my video list. Wow. There it is. David Icke's been covered. Guys, I'm pretty choked at what happened. So we'll be covering the David Icke story on Saturday on Mike in the Night. And, oh yeah, it's trends in the housing market, baby. I want to thank everyone for joining us. I want to thank everyone for hitting me up in the tip jar. I want to thank everyone for supporting this transmission every way possible. Real Kevin Thompson in the house. Has a condo in Oakville. Steve the Plumber in the house. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's been a long weekend, a long week, man. I've been painting the house, getting things ready. Parents are going to be visiting soon. So I've been very busy, guys, here. Very, very busy. Trying to keep things together, you know what I'm saying? Just busy, busy, busy. Okay, guys, David Icke's covered. We'll be covering it on Saturday on Mike in the Night. We need to discuss this because it's actually a pretty important video. I think it's a very important video. And, all right. What do we got going on in the housing, trends in the housing market? I don't even know how to put this, but I actually want to follow some real estate agents that were telling people for the last 4 or 5 years, if you don't buy now, you'll never own. That Deuce Bigalow guy, you'll never own. You see, guys like myself were bought out of the market, and then we cherry pick articles to make it look like it's worse than what it seems. Oh, yeah. Owen in the house. Owen, what's up, buddy? My man, Owen. Yeah. Real Kevin Thompson, I got to get him on the show. People are willing to donate money to the show if we get Kevin Thompson on, guys. So if we could get Kevin Thompson on, I would be very, very happy. Yeah, prices will go to the moon. Like that guy from AMTV. Hey, I'm not an investment, nor do I give investment advice, but prices can stay low or go to the moon! Or go to the freaking moon! And then I add one of these after, right? Woo! Okay, guys, what's going on? There's a lot going on. Okay, guys. I've been getting a lot of emails. I got a lot of emails about David Icke today. We'll be covering David Icke on Saturday. I promise, guys, on Mike in the Night. A lot of people from Australia messaged me this. And what else? The emails I've been getting, phenomenal. If you go through my email list, like let's say you had access, you go into my email and you look at all my emails going down. Hi, Mike, I'm a doctor from Vancouver. Hi, Mike, I'm a doctor from Alberta. Hi, Mike, I'm a registered nurse from Fort McMurray. Hi, Mike, and just the amount of people saying, yeah, I'm moving to Oklahoma. I'm moving to, where's that? New Hampshire. Someone's going to move to Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And then someone else is going to move to, the amount of brain drain, the massive brain drain Who are they replacing us with? That's the question. Who are they replacing the professionals with? That's the question. Peter, Odetzinger. I'm at the mall shopping with the wife. Can't call in today, Mike. Hi to everyone. Peter, we need to talk on Saturday about David Icke not being allowed in Australia. So if you can, Peter, Saturday my time, 9 p.m. my time. I think it's like 2 p.m. Sunday your time. Let's talk about David Icke and what's happening with the what's happening with him not being allowed to tour in Australia. I think that's a big. This is a big deal, and it's kind of bizarre how my Australian housing videos have been the target. Australian housing crisis, Australia debt bomb housing crisis, Australia mortgage prison, Australia house arrest housing crisis. Something's happening, guys. Something's happening. Something really big is happening. And all of it ties to this housing bubble we're living in, what we're going through. This is a really big dark ages we're going through right now. This housing has affected everyone in every level. Whether it's stress, whether they're renting, whether their commutes are far, whether their college degrees aren't paying off what they thought it was going to pay them. Yeah. So Peter's going to have to paraphrase what happened in Australia because we can't say the J word on this channel because we will be... I don't want to lose my channel either, right? But I also want to stand up for David Icke. I'm not a big deal, but I also want to stand up for the guy too, right? Okay, Greater Vancouver condo prices officially go negative. Man, I got to get the USA chant going on here, guys. Hold on. Oh, yeah. We got to get the cheering. Let me see here. Let me open up a soundboard tonight, guys. I'm tired, guys. So, cheering soundboard. See what comes up with cheering soundboard. Let's see what this is. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, for everybody watching, just tuning in. Greater Vancouver condo prices. Wow, that's long. Greater Vancouver condo prices officially go negative. Fewest sales since 2010. Well, what did you guys? What did the government? What did the policymakers? What did they think was gonna happen? Everyone's leaving. Who's going to flip the bill? The homeowners are. The people that are stuck in this now, that bought, because they were on the bandwagon thinking they were going to lose. You're going to lose. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Greater Vancouver condo rush might have just turned. Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver numbers show condo apartment prices declined for the first time in years this January. The decline came as sales for the month fell over a 9-year low and inventory climbed. Let me open this up here. Inventory climbed. I want to see that part here. The decline comes sales of the 9-year low and inventory climbed to a multi-year high. What's happening, guys? Whatever happened to the supply and demand you kept feeding us? This garbage, supply and demand. The same garbage like global warming they fed us for so many years. Oh, no, Mike, you got to correct yourself. It's climate change now. No, it's global warming. Too bad. You've been feeding it down our throat, and you've been feeding the supply and demand down our throat for years now. It's supply and demand that's the problem. 9-year low and inventory climbed to a multi-year high. Greater Vancouver condo prices are down 6% from peak. Oh, this is just the start, sweet peas. Can I get some... Yeah. USA. USA. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. When everyone tells me, oh, Mike, you know, the cost of building a house is like almost $1 million anyway. Ooh, you know, what are you talking about? What do you know? And yeah, you know what? I don't know much, but if you think prices are going to go up, you're in a lot of trouble. Okay, we got people like, oh, we got the Lost Canuck in the thing. Retail is slowly collapsing here too. Yeah, we're going to be covering, we're going to do a Mike in the Night special on consumer confidence hitting record lows. So that's going to be in the agenda too, coming up on Mike's in the Nights. How long do you guys want trends in the housing market to go for? You guys let me know. You guys let me know how long you want trends in the housing market to go. Because now everything's coming to light. Everything's coming that we could see. And what I've been preaching for so many years is already coming to light. The price of condo in Greater Vancouver is coming down. REBGV reported a benchmark price of $658,600 in January, down 0.8% from the month before. This represents 1.7% decline compared to the same month last year. In the city proper, condo apartments in the Vancouver East fell $530,000, down 3.9% from last year. In West Vancouver, price fell to $783, down 3.6% from last year. Prices are falling, but still have a long way to go for typical incomes. So typical income, if you're a doctor, everybody, you're taxed to hell. Greater Vancouver condo apartment benchmark price. There it is. If you don't know, now they're coming out with the whole Yaletown thing. Oh, you know, if you bought in Yaletown 5 years ago, you should be okay today. Well, what happened to your last week's show? If you don't know now, you'll never have anything. I want to go, there's the benchmark price, Vancouver condo benchmark change. It's already in this territory right here, 2009-ish. You can see here on the graph where it meets up. And it meets up here, 2013. Yeah, it's getting started, people. The party's starting. Oh, we got John Felipe in the comments saying moving to stage 3 of the crash acceptance. That's right. Yeah, Kevin Thompson's still on cloud 9, right? Here we go. Sales to new listings. Look at all the people take their listings off the market. See, these should invert. If this much is on the market, this line should be cross-hatching this line and inverting. And there should be more sales if it was a supply and demand issue. Now they're putting more stuff on the market to try and see if the market has leveled off. You could tell right here, a good investor could look at this and say, the market's now starting to level here, and then right here is where you got your listings are going up because they think it's bottoming out. Is it bottoming out? No. No, Mr. Peter. Mr. Peter. The Consuela, you know, she's no. Let's get some Consuela in this. Can I get a round of applause? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thanks, people. Oh, yeah. Let me get some Consuela here. Yeah, no, Peter. No, Mr. Peter. No. There we go. We got some Consuela coming up. No. Oh, that's another one. Hold on. No. Yep, that's what's happening, people. And I'm trying to bring it to you guys. I've been trying to bring it for the longest time. Trying to keep it kosher. Try and keep it as PG as possible so my channel doesn't get flagged. There it is. Condo sales to active listings ratio. There it is. Poof. And everybody that doubted me, and made fun of me all these years and the amount of shellac I got in the comments section. And now it's going to get worse. This is the beginning now. Now we're just starting out, and I'm going to explain to you why. Never in human history have we ever propped up markets so much with first-time buyer loans. That people didn't need that, because before, back in the day, working just a construction job, you could pay off your mortgage. Now, fast forward to 2019, things are getting even worse. Hasta la vista, better dwelling. Liberals promise $638 million for urban indigenous housing. Wow, that's a lot of housing. Wow. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to touch this with a 10-foot pole because I'm going to get my channel flagged. Chilliwack launches study to evaluate seniors' housing needs. Again, seniors being the target of this. And it's every English-speaking country is this, you know. Bank set to reveal earnings amid wobbly housing market interest rate uncertainty. How old is this damn thing? Oh, it's posted today. It was posted today. Canadian Press posted February 20, 2019. 5 rate hikes since summer of 2017 should help their bottom lines. Canada's biggest banks are set to report on what has traditionally been the strongest quarter of the year, but market volatility and slower mortgage growth during the period could weigh on their latest results. North American markets saw a sharp sell-off at the end of 2018 amid trade skirmish between China and the U.S. and political uncertainty, with partial shutdown south of the border potentially hampering the bank's related earnings. Guys, there have been many government shutdowns, okay? And they're spotlighting the one on Donald Trump more than any other one because it's Donald Trump. So, yeah, it's not looking good. Budget 2019. BC housing starts to fall by 25% as government property revenues still set to rise. The total of number of housing starts across British Columbia is forecasted to see a tumble over the coming years, but the provincial government still anticipates to see its housing-related revenues rise. Budget 2019. First Nations BC will be given $3 billion for reconciliation. Wow. Budget 2019. All interest on BC student loans eliminated. Wow. Budget 2019. BC families to be provided up to $28,000 for child's upbringing. Wow. According to the 2019 budget, housing starts 2018-2019 were 40,857 units. This will fall to 34,000 units for 2019 units, blah, 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 and 30,517 units for 2021. So it's going way too far into the future. Despite falling housing start volumes, revenue generated by the new speculation and vacancy taxes is anticipated to be relatively high, increasing from $87 million in 2019-2020 to $185 million for each of the forthcoming 3 fiscal years. This is not good. This is not good. Let's move on. Lots to cover tonight. Another article from Vancouver is awesome. No age group immune to the stress over Metro Vancouver housing market. A lot of kids are kids, couch surfers, rentals, Generation Xers, millennials. It's been affecting everybody. Yeah. It's bad. Biggs in the comments is saying smash. It's a smash like. Alright, let me catch up with some comments here. eBankU saying, are we playing the Kevin is delusional game again? Peter Otzinger saying, LOL, they want to open our northern border up for immigration boats to come in from Indonesia. The big migrant push by George Soros is everywhere. Then real Kevin Thompson is saying, prices only go up, Steve. And then Briggs says, smash like. And then Gary Medeiros is saying, no, they are not. Real Kevin Thompson says, Japan in the house, guys. Double A saying, but Steve, isn't it in the law that house prices can only go up? Then Owen says, Mike, I sent you a link on YouTube. Did you check it out? Well, I read the last link you sent me. I'll check it on YouTube, I guess, again. But I did the last link. I read it on my channel. I'm not sure if you saw it. House prices are back to 2016 levels. I think they will drop to 2015 levels as a bottom. No, it's going to go worse. Lost Canuck, big crash happening. New builds in Barrie. Yeah. You better believe it. You better believe it. No one's immune. Nobody's immune. I want to get the Lost Canuck. Can you come on, buddy? Let me open my Skype. Lost Canuck, are you there, buddy? Come on, it's trends in the housing market. I need you here. Let me open up my Skype here for you guys. Really fed up with what's been going on. Really fed up with this whole, you know, the Great Canadian Blame Game is going to get a lot stronger. I think it's going to get a lot stronger. Oh, yeah. It's going to get a lot stronger, and I think that people are going to be blaming everything that moves on this housing problem. But it'd be nice to have the Lost Canuck on the show if he could hit me up on Skype. I'd like to know what he's thinking. Know what's going on. Oh, he's on Skype. He's on right now. Let me see if I could call him and see if he's awake. Oh, it says he's unavailable. He's probably in the shower. No big deal. No biggie deal. So it's really good to have the real Kevin Thompson on the show in the comments section because he keeps everybody riled up. Oh, it's Anthony calling in. What's up, Anthony?
Mike, how's it going there?
It's going good. What are you up to, buddy?
Oh, great. Yeah, just I wanted to tell a little appraisal anecdote, a little story. Locally.
Please, go
yesterday. Okay. So basically, it seems like the market has slowed a little bit in the $400,000 range, and then just being with the homeowner here, this lady in her 60s. I of course would never give any confidential info out about the property or the person themselves, but I just see a trend that these people, they want their houses to sell for $450,000. They're really pushing for the $460,000, $470,000 to basically get money back that they paid in 1999 when they built or bought. And our values just are not at what they want it to be. They don't feel like it's enough for their retirement goals and this and that. And that's one benefit that any Canadian seller would have now in the same age bracket, that their property value, maybe, how much did that increase in 1999?
How much is what?
Oh, how much did the Canadian home value increase?
Well, it depends. If you're in the major cities, like if you're in Vancouver, it's like $1.4 million for a bungalow detached.
Yeah.
And in Toronto, I think it's around $870,000 mark right now.
Yeah, but that's one thing the Canadians have going for them, is if they've got that house owned and can sell it to the Chinese or whatever, they got such an upper hand. Anyone in the U.S. just trying to sell out of something mediocre. Like I'm sending a link here as like an example.
Sure. Opening
this
link.
Range you've got slowing down, yeah.
Opening link.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
and
that's a nice house.
Oh yeah, and just a little stagnation in the past year.
Okay, because this house right here in Vancouver would be probably like maybe $2.6–3 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
These Vancouverites hit the lottery.
A lot of them did, and a lot of them moved back to Europe. A lot of Europeans moved back to Europe.
Great idea. And what about your family in Toronto? Anyone leave there, or they all stayed put?
No, it's hit and miss. Some of them went stateside. It's a really nice home, and a lot of them went. Some of them went back to Portugal. A lot of people are going back to Portugal now. That's a really nice house.
Oh, yeah, there's a long list of these, and now they're starting to sit because everyone's trying to sell it once, it seems. The whole baby boomer generation. Because now the millennials are later to the party as far as buying, and we're buying smaller. We're looking at like the $120,000 range. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm checking her out here. Yeah, yeah. This same house would be a lot of money. This house in Vancouver would probably be in and around high twos, $2 million. Yeah, with that much land, that much backyard, I think maybe 4.
And we get in the GTA, it's at least triple, I think, in the GTA, right?
Yeah, this in the GTA, this house would be like maybe 1.4, and maybe in Oakville, Ontario.
Right.
1.4.
And then that's just hard for us to imagine because Vancouver's like on the other side of the world, basically. I mean, but GTA is like 2.5 hours away if we speed because on the 401, like no one follows the speed limit. So we'd be in the GTA there, and it's not on the other side of the moon. It's like kind of down the road.
Yeah, from where you are, it's like not even a 4-hour drive, right?
Right. Yeah. Like if we want cheap flights to Portugal, we go to Pearson.
Yeah, because there's a huge Portuguese population in Toronto.
Yeah, and even the Italians, they all fly out of Pearson to Italy sometimes.
Yeah, whichever ones didn't get deported by now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, lots of Portuguese deported. Lots and lots. Somebody emailed me about that the other day too. They're still cracking down on Portuguese. Still cracking down on Portuguese.
I just can't believe that.
It is what it is. I mean,
but everyone else
open borders to only specific countries only. But no, it's yeah. This is so you're getting a lot of people coming to you and saying basically, I want this to come back at this, and this is what I want to sell it for.
Right. And now in the past year, they're just hoping some euphoria kind of continues. It's just not there for them. Because maybe they're looking to buy in Florida or something. And,
exactly. They want to go Florida south where it's a bit warmer.
Right. And Florida looks like it's correcting a little too, though. Hopefully for these sellers. That was my word of caution is, well, don't go overpay in Florida now. Thinking everyone wants to.
You are buying in different markets, but don't go crazy. Like if I sold this house, like let's say I sold this house, I sold it, and it's all pure profit. I'd pick up a small, like if I was retired, me and the wife, I'd pick up a small 1-bedroom on Andrews Boulevard there, in Fort Lauderdale for like $68,000. A small 1-bedroom for like under $100,000.
Oh, Fort Lauderdale though. When you start paying low price in Florida, you're around tweakers. I mean, people doing drugs publicly, sitting behind like fire hydrants. You know what I mean?
But I'm talking about Fort Lauderdale. I'm talking about like on Andrews Boulevard there by Las Olas.
Okay, and you're saying there's actually deals?
Like you could pick up a good place there in a good area.
Yeah, I like your idea of the Southern Plantation or something in Georgia or something because like Florida, when you talk about Fort Lauderdale, Miami, you've got like contamination in the water and stuff and weird long-term nature effects that just look like a crappy investment. And then Orlando too with sinkholes.
Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah, let's get realistic. Maybe Ocala, Florida. If you see it on the map, Ocala is a good location.
Yeah, there's a ton of sinkholes there. Like they got holes opening up in these neighborhoods. You don't hear this in the mainstream news, of course, because it would turn off people from buying into Florida. But it's pretty ugly.
Okay, then maybe we'll stick to southern Georgia then.
Yeah, and then look at Carolinas, and then
maybe even Texas.
Gulf Shores. I mean Texas. Yeah, go ahead.
As you said, the new destination is Fort Worth, Texas, right now.
Yeah, I've been there, and honestly, I just think it's kind of going to collect a lot of people with low IQ because you go there in the summer and you see nothing but a haze surrounding the city. The air is 100% filthy. And it's not about being an environmentalist and thinking that like everything needs to be green energy, like Mr. Trudeau might say. It's just about like your health and what you decide you want to do. And Texas, I mean, they can just drill an oil well down your street and you've got nothing to say about it. And as an appraiser, I mean, think about what that does to your home value.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I know where you're getting at.
Yeah.
I'm talking about keeping a simple life, you know, just as simple as possible. Keeping everything you make disposable income, you know, trying to throw as very little towards taxes as possible.
Yeah, but just Texas, I mean that. And if you want to like have any type of plantation type country type stuff, think about digging a well in Texas, and you're just not sure if it's going to be clean based on what the neighbors are drilling. So that's why you should keep your eyes on Portugal or something.
Well, I'm thinking about the Azores, of course, right?
Yeah, of course.
I don't mind going to mainland Portugal, but I think it's better for me to go visit, not to live in mainland Portugal. I think it would be the Azores because it's so secluded and nobody cares about it there.
Really, I'm pricing out land, and it just looks higher on the Azores than the sticks, like the hills in northern Portugal. You know, they've just got thousands of hectares where, you know, there's sometimes forest fires and things, but it's kind of forgotten. So I'm going to visit all of it, yeah, at some point.
Yeah, go visit. Make sure you do a live stream there for me.
Yeah.
In Portugal.
Yeah, it might be this year.
Portugal. Woo!
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I did the Azores, but I still got to go to more islands. I only went to São Miguel and then on to Funchal. Funchal was beautiful too, and Madeira.
Mm-hmm. Madeira.
Yeah, I recommend it if you've never been.
Yeah, of course. But I prefer São Miguel. I got roots there.
Oh yeah, I mean it was cool. It was cool how it was undeveloped and no, not undeveloped. I mean the tourism just wasn't quite as developed as other places I've been to. It wasn't like mad traffic of tourists. So we felt authentic there. Yeah, it was authentic.
This is Azores, Portugal. I'm just looking at some tour guides here that have tours. I'm just trying to not flag my video. Lots of places in the Azores.
Talking to people on the streets, I mean, it was cool. They talked to me. We converse, even though I have this like Rio de Janeiro type accent.
You speak Portuguese?
It's the only way I can get. Well, just from a teacher from Recife.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's like it's a little different version than Azorean, of course, but it still worked a little.
Mm-hmm.
Enough to get you around.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Okay, dude. Well, come on the show Saturday. We're going to be covering, on Mike in the Night, we're going to be covering David Icke and what's happening with him. So, catch up on what's happening with David Icke.
Okay, real quick, got any tips on what happened to him, or what are you noticing?
It's a big deal. He was banned from going on tour in Australia with his speaking tour. So he's stuck in a hotel in Los Angeles right now.
Yep, very interesting guy. I hope everyone tunes into that. I mean, he talks a lot about the debt system, the banks, the Rothschilds, and history, and symbolisms, and Satanisms, and diminishes this notion of democracy in our whole Western world, from Canada to the U.S. to UK to everyone. And so, but then again, not perfect. We shouldn't trust him like he's a saint. But yeah, well, I'll work with you on that. Yeah. Yeah,
we'll find out what's going on. Thanks for this link you shared us here. Really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll keep in touch, okay?
All right, talk to you later.
Take care, bud. That's Anthony from downtown Detroit. Sorry, guys. I'm just a little bit out of it today. I'm really tired. I am exhausted. But I'm trying to pull through here for the show for you guys. So there it is. So this typical house. Oh, we got the Lost Canuck in. Thank God. Who the hell is this? Hello? Is anybody there? Hello? He's not answering. There's no answer. I want to get the Lost Canuck on the show. Give us a little bit of download on what's happening. On what's happening with... here we go. Let's see if this damn thing works again. Hello?
Yep.
Hello?
Yes, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, man? You look like you're tired today.
Oh, buddy, I'm out of gas, dude. I'm completely out of gas.
Yeah, you're like me. I just woke up a little bit. I just took some B12, stuck it under my tongue about a half an hour ago, and I'm feeling a little better now.
Good, good, good. Tilt your screen down a bit more so I can see your face. I can see your forehead.
Okay.
Perfect, perfect.
So, everybody, hi out there.
Yes.
I just want to say hi to my Gary Medeiros out there. Great guy. Listen, Mike. I don't know if you can get it on your computer. You remember that first video I did on that site? I did Boots on the Ground.
Yeah.
I was showing you about 45 houses.
Yeah.
I was talking to Steve the plumber last night. There's 43 in total. If you go on Colony Park Homes, they'll actually give you a map. And it shows you all the houses that are built. Okay?
Okay.
Out of the 43, there was only 3 that were not sold back in 2017. I talked to one of the biggest supers there that's not there anymore. He told me that there's only 14 that closed. And they're all up.
Really?
Yeah. So they're vacant homes.
Oh.
So this builder had to lay off everybody, has a laborer there working 3 days a week. He's lucky to get 24 hours a week. And he has 14 houses that closed, and the rest of them are on inventory.
So are they going to wait 100 years for the price of housing to go up again?
Probably not. I don't think this builder's going to have it. He's going to have the funds to keep them going, because you having that kind of money, yeah, they got the deposits. But remember, when they build, they have to pay the city for the services to start. So you're looking at it between 40 to 100,000 paying into different municipalities depending where you are. So every lot you charge roughly 50 grand just to have the water, gas, and hydro to start. So the rest is the builders to hold on. Now, if you got 40, 50 grand or less than that, I don't know how long you can keep that house for.
Yeah, but the thing is, the main question a lot of people are asking themselves, is it even worth keeping it for that long?
No, it's not. It's not. And I think what's going to happen is they got no choice. They're going to start dropping them. They have to. This is where I think we don't get the news that we need. We have you on the housing trend. You're never going to end it no matter what, because what's going to happen now, your channel's going to expand to a bigger number of people watching it, because this is the year where everybody's going to start coming in and realizing, wait a minute, this bald guy is right. He's been right for years. Now we have these builders just walking away, or builders. Now that the thing is, I want Steve to call you, because he's got information now. These builders are going to go bankrupt. We're not just talking the big one.
They're not securing the financing they need. That's
right. So you had a good video out the other day. I want to mention it because it links to the housing market. And when we're talking delinquent on car loans, you did a really good video on it. I watched it. And the only thing I want to give you as a little bit of an idea on your next one, in the Canadian side, it's not like the American side, because the Canadian side, people went to get an HELCO credit, their ABM of their house, to pay off their debt. So what do? They paid off their cars.
Yeah.
and that's what some of them did. So we don't have that great number of delinquents because they put it all on their house, and that's the difference between the states and us. And that's why they're not showing a bad number right now. But in reality, is they are bad. Yeah. There's delinquent on vehicles and trucks, and this is where we're going to see the trend that's going to start happening now, like a domino effect. We've always said it. And the construction industry is going to start dropping now. This summer will be the lowest since 2010. I am telling you right now.
I think it's going to drop to like, honestly, Mario, 2010 is sweet. I think it's kind of cute, but I think it's going to drop to 1984 levels.
Yeah, probably, because now we're going to see all these people coming out, and like I said, Mike, I'm working, thank God, but I'm also looking for something else that's in the different kind of, it's the same construction, but out of the residential. My goal is to get out of residential, fit myself into an establishment of a company that deals with more of the commercial, ICI, industrial, because once I'm into that, I will be safe to rock the road. Because right now, housing is the worst thing people can possibly invest in. I don't understand where these guys go still buy these houses. And I tell everybody, why are you worried about renting? What's so bad about it? There's nothing wrong with it. As long as you have it documented, lawyers, signed, and you're protected, and you can pay it, you're not in debt. You're not in debt.
Yeah, that's very true. A lot of people are forgetting what the costs are behind owning a home, heating it, keeping it maintained, and all the other stuff. That stuff is all good and well, paying your way and your taxes and stuff. If the house isn't $1 million bungalow.
How about this one? If you take, I don't know what it's called in Vancouver, but here it's called the MPAC, municipality, provincial, I can't even remember the other words. They deal with the value of your home, and they're a real source of what your home is really worth.
Yep.
So let's say you go buy a house here, and these ridiculous amounts. Okay, I'll give you my townhouse. My townhouse, when I sold at 424, they told me my house was worth $270, which was realistic. Okay, yeah. So they've taken the number. Now that 270, they take that and they transfer it to a percentage where you pay your property tax.
Yes.
So you imagine, Mike, if everybody was paying property tax with the banks, and I should call them the fraud banks, that say your house is worth $1 million when it's worth $500,000, they should be paying property tax. That's how you get the market to crash, because nobody can afford it. Right. Now you have the city of Barrie that we are $13 million of unpaid taxes, property taxes.
Oh, Vancouver is just in and around $140 million now.
Yeah. So, and who's going to all pay for this at the end of the day?
Well,
this is what troubles me.
Well, a lot of the homeowners, or a lot of these people that do own these homes, in their culture, they don't pay property tax, so they don't want to pay it in Canada. So it's becoming a big problem.
And I don't know if you watched the W5. I was going to send it to you about the laundering money in the casinos. You made a video of that about 1.5 years ago.
Oh, yeah. I made an updated video not too long ago, too, discussing this problem.
Yeah. So that one was a really good one. And the problem is nobody's going to get charged. Nobody's going to look into this because it's so dirty that I would call it a Trump effect, meaning that it's got government involved, politicians involved, everybody involved in this big circle, and nobody's going to look into it. They're just going to erase a few things and try to clean it a little bit and make it look all neat and clean. But meanwhile, we all know that this is a chaos. And Mike, remember what I told you? He's going to step down, man. He's going to step down. I called it. I'll be the first one to call it on my channel that he will step down.
I believe you, and I believe it's the right thing for him to do is to step down. But I think he's going to stay, and he's going to run for re-election. Do you know why?
No, I don't know.
Because he actually wants to show people how far we could go without getting in trouble.
Yeah, yeah. But the problem is he doesn't have JS behind him, eh?
Yeah, I know, I know, I know.
You know, he's already in trouble, so there he doesn't have that backing, and I think it's part of the indictments. That's why he's getting all this pressure now. Something's happening on the south end that's pushing all this.
Mm-hmm.
All this is all coming up because of what's happening down in the south.
Oh, yeah.
And the other, you know, we'll talk about that on Saturday night. But the thing, what bothers me the most, is that he's trying to hide it as much as he can. But I heard through the grapevine that they're having a secret meeting, all the liberals, to vote to see if they're going to keep him as the leader.
Yeah.
So this is where his polls are starting to drop.
Because I think he has an approval rating of what, under 20%?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And not to say that the conservatives is any better. I don't like the guy personally.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't find me as a leader. I rather vote for the people's whatever you want to call it maximum there. He sounds more, I could say, a professional. Maybe he's not, I don't know, but I just look at a person when they get to a mic and they start talking,
Mm-hmm.
and I say, you know what, that's the guy I want. He
Yeah.
sounds legit. But
Kind of reminds me of that movie, My Cousin Vinny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You said it. You said it. He sounds like a dwarf. I don't understand. I don't understand how they picked him over that guy. But anyway, that's their pick. But otherwise, Mike, there's a lot of inventory going up, and it's not being, of course, not advertised, not brought out to the public. I'm doing boots on the ground so everybody can see that.
Mhm.
I've done one in Innisfil the other day. Over there's nothing going on. No digging, no new construction. It's all just finishing up construction, as you call it. And there's actual people not moving in their houses and trying to sell it private. And I
I'm
put
seeing
it
your
on my
Innisfil one
panel.
right now with the houses here.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a townhouse there listed at $550, 1,300 square foot townhouse.
Wow.
Yeah, in Innisfil. No grass, no paving driveway, listed that. Of course, that's all going to come in after, but still, it's not an incentive to buy.
Mm-hmm.
And I really, really encourage people to watch you and me, and I tell them not to buy nothing. If you can get everybody to stop buying these new homes, resales, do whatever you want. But
Mhm.
remember, the new homes dictate the market. So if the new homes start to take a big drop, the builders have to make, I guess you could say, a desperate measure to bring it to a price where people can make it affordable, number one, and number two, to sell them real quick so they lose that debt. So this is what's going to happen in Q2. We're going to see a lot of these builders are going to be struggling. Now, you can say, well, how did they hold on to it? I put it on my video and explained to them. Here in Ontario, Mike, since 1990s, if there was 100 houses built by a builder and there was a really big builder and he couldn't sell in the early 90s, that was a recession. So what happened was the contractors that did the concrete, the framing, and the bricklaying.
Electrician.
Yeah, no. These are just the three. The electricians they're the least amount to pay compared to all the payments.
Mm-hmm.
So if you break down the house in percentage of a new build, if you take foundation, it's roughly 15%. Okay? You take framing, it's about 30%. You take bricklayer, it's about another 15%. The rest of them get divided. Okay? So what happens is you got these three big contractors, and that's who holds the money. As the builder goes up to them and says, okay, Mike, you did the bricklaying. Mario, you did the carpentry. Anthony, you did the concrete. I can't pay you right now, but I'm going to let you own a percentage of the company as long as you can carry me through so we can pay our trades or our piece workers, whatever, to get these subdivision completed.
Yeah.
And that's what's been happening in Ontario since the 90s. And I got confirmation on that to make sure it was a bricklayer too.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good friend of mine. I don't want to mention his name on the radio, on your show. He actually wanted to tell you, he watches both of us. He's Portuguese. He had one of the biggest bricklaying company in Simcoe County as a piece worker. He had 20, 30 people working for him. He called me and he moved to Halifax. He's Portuguese. He got his whole family, closed his company, said, I had enough of Ontario. I'm moving to Halifax. Because he told me over the phone, he says, in about a year, when I moved last year, I said, I don't know how everybody's going to keep themselves afloat.
Yep.
Because he's seen the big picture. It's not just us. He's seen it. He's seen him when he's doing work. He's not getting 5 houses. He's getting 2. And he's got to keep everybody working. So he says, you know what? He told his wife, let's sell everything here. He moved there. He's doing very well. And he's telling me to come there and work. But I said, no thanks. I have to take care of what I got in here. But like I said, Mike, there's more to come. You know, I know it. A lot of people think that the government's going to do something. No, they can't. Because this is a bank problem. This is a debt problem. This is where the bank is going to say, either they get to pay or we're going to come and seize that property with all those houses. Because these builders are in a lot of trouble more than anybody thinks. And if the banks the government bails them out, then they should bail us out too. So we can all afford a house, have it all paid for, and end of story. And that's the problem. That's the problem. And the other thing I want to talk about, Mike, before we go, is even when you get a car loan for delinquents, okay?
Yeah.
You got to remember, even though you're getting a loan to get that car, especially if you're getting for Honda, Toyota, whatever, they're not actually getting paid for that car. Even though they're giving it to you, they don't get money for that car until you finish paying for it.
Yeah.
So this is where it's all coming into effect.
Oh, no.
It's all coming into effect.
What's worse than that is in-house financing, where they do the financing for you in-house with their dealership. That's even worse. And the interest rates.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. They're holding that debt. At the end of the day, they're the debtor. They're the ones that you're paying them, but they're holding that line of credit for you.
Yep.
And that's what's happening. A lot of them are not paying, and then they're not going to pay, or they're going to pay, but then they're in deep shit. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
But anyway, buddy, I'm tired. So are you. Get some rest.
Yeah. Listen, I want to have you on the show maybe on Saturday if you get some time. We need to talk about what's happening with is Trudeau stepping down? What's happening with this whole shenanigans? And what do we see happening in the next maybe half a year in Canada? What's going on with this whole Trudeau?
Well, look what's happening now, Mike. You have a lawyer that didn't get his license suspended, but he got charged with child pornography.
Yeah.
How can that be possible? How can that be possible?
It is possible. It's because of the cruel, dictated piece of crap system that we set up.
Oh, man. There's a lot out there, man. I just tell you, may God punish them all.
Yep.
And anyway, buddy, I got to get some sleep. You too. God bless you and your family. Hope your wife's doing well.
Yep.
And did you name your child yet?
Well, we got 3 weeks to go. I think it's going to be Angelina.
Right on, buddy. Right on.
Yes.
Right on.
Yes.
And don't vaccinate.
No. I'm not going to. No.
Good
Maybe
boy.
the tetanus, because I took it. Everyone
That's
takes
fine. That's fine.
Tetanus. And,
You can do all that stuff, the rest of that stuff, after they're 6 years old, man. You decide what you want to do.
Yeah.
Let their brain be fully developed.
Yeah, before they turn into a vegetable. I get it, man.
Yeah, that's right. All right, buddy. God bless.
God
Enjoy
bless you,
yourself,
man. Say hi to your wife and God, and we'll stay in touch.
You got her, buddy. Take care.
Thank you. Take
Ciao.
care. So that was Mario Desettis, the Lost Canuck. Check out his channel. Boots on the ground here, Innisfil area, and new builds. Let's get him to, where's he at? 630. Guys, come on, let's get him to 1,000 subs. Let's get the Kevin Thompson posse out there to, let's hear it again for Mario Desettis. Oh, yeah. Thank Mario Desettis for coming on. Oh, yeah. Sorry, guys, I'm zoning out. I'm just really, really tired. I am exhausted, guys. So let's get through a couple more of these articles. So we went through that. London homeowners test waters in the Brexit hit housing market. Again, guys, they're blaming Brexit for the selling out to foreign investors and the 86,000 empty homes across London owned by foreign investors. They're blaming it on Brexit. They don't want to blame it. They want to blame everything on anything. And if it wasn't Brexit, they'll just blame Donald Trump. They'll find a way to blame it. They're not blaming it on cities becoming empty shells and ghost towns and homeowners becoming rich on paper overnight and rents going up and everyone leaving London and moving to Middle England and Scotland and other places. No. They don't talk about that. They just blame Brexit. They don't talk about what the root of the problem is in England, and it's the same bullcrap with Brexit. It's a bunch of garbage. And this is from The Guardian. London social housing block residents warn death trap conditions. Another condo or another apartment where it's falling apart, apparently. Clyde House in southwest London where residents fear catastrophe similar to the Grenfell Tower fire. So another one. Another death trap. So Clyde House is a block of social housing with 62 flats over 8 floors, built as part of a private housing development in Windsworth, close to the River Thames. Some of the property is reserved for people with special needs. And here it goes. Residents claim Clyde House was constructed with shoddy materials and that the surrounding blocks were better built and have been properly maintained. The other blocks look identical to ours, but were treated like second-class citizens. The building was built with the cheapest materials humanly possible. A majority of the materials made it with shredded Chinese newspaper and rotten apple cores. And that's what's happening right now with the Opal Towers. Shoddy. Let's see what's happening with the Opal Tower. Here it is. An hour ago, Daily Telegraph. An hour ago, Opal Tower report and its designers, engineers' fault. Let's see what's happening in good old Opal Tower in Sydney Olympic Village. Oh, they want me to pay for this thing? You got to be out of your mind. It won't let me open it. Yeah. That's it right there. It's got cracks all over it, falling apart, shoddy design. How many of them are like that around the world? Built in a rush, trying to get the deposits in as fast, quick as possible, trying to get this build before the market crashes, so people don't walk away from the deposits. Mr. E in the comments saying, when you have an open market, it's never for the benefit of the local populace. Oh, you better believe it. There it is, Opal Towers. Same thing. Again, how Brexit will affect UK prices. These people are out of their minds. These people have to be they got to be sniffing glue or something. I'm sorry, you got to be sniffing glue. Every English-speaking country, except for some reason England, has the exact same problem, except England. And they're blaming Brexit for their housing problem. And they're blaming the supply. Oh, yeah, in England, it's still supply and demand. Oh, yeah, England is supply and demand is the problem there in England. They still blame supply and demand with 90,000 empty homes across London. Prospect of no deal increases. Property experts are divided on the impact of Britain's housing market and like Brexit. Oh, God. I think they need to get a page from my one of my past videos on what's happening here. Rent looms as key election issues as government attacks big new housing tax. Oh, man. Yeah, people are over-leveraged in Australia right now. Household debt is so catastrophic. I've been forecasting this for years, and I have a right to keep saying that, because I'm not some, what do you call it, one of those guys, those Captain Obviouses that come in like a year ago, a year and a half, even 2 years ago. Hey, by the way, this should have been this, and then we should have moved that, and then we should have raised rates here. And it's like, thank you, Captain Obvious. Should have came 4 or 5 years ago when we were talking about this. Yep. Yeah, let the bloodbath begin. House prices in Sydney and Melbourne could have in worst crash since the 1890s. 1890s. How low will the crash go? Let's play this video here. No audio though, people. Yeah, Steve the Plumber's at another foreclosure right now as we speak. Come on, play the video. Come on. House prices in Sydney and Melbourne could fall up to 25% this year alone. And there's a chance they could fall half in the coming property bloodbath, an economist has warned. Buddy has been warning of the looming property crash for the past 5 years. Said in a report today, in recent house price falls were just the beginning. CoreLogic for January showed Sydney Melbourne prices were now 12.3% and 8.7% down from the respective peaks in July and November 2017, with Melbourne falling at the fastest rate ever seen. We think there is a chance property prices could fall by half in Sydney and Melbourne over the long run, Mr. David said. I wouldn't be surprised by falls of at least 40% when all hell breaks loose. You've got so many buyers out there. His base case of 20% falls in the calendar of 2019 is significantly more bearish than other experts. So there it is there. Where is it going to go? It's going to go right here. Follow this gray line. It's going to go. I predicted a 40-50% crash in Sydney a couple of years ago when houses were still haven't reached their peak. I predicted it like in 2016. Oh, way before that. It was just out of control. And everyone was reading articles like every week saying, what is going on in Sydney? It was just Sydney at the time. It was only Sydney. It was nothing else. Oh, it's going to be a bloodbath. Come on, man. Do I have to pay for every article? Home builder sentiment rises as interest rates stay in check. Builder sentiment rose 4 points into 62 in February, according to the monthly survey for National Association of Home Builders, Wells Fargo Housing Market Index. The index is three components of buyer traffic movement, up 4 points to 48. Current sales conditions rose 3 points to 67, and sales expectations over the next 6 months increased 5 points. Well, if the jobs are going up in the United States and jobs are growing, you're going to see a huge growth in obviously in the construction industry and the housing industry. But a lot of people are moving from obviously California, the whole West Coast, moving into the East. 6 million people left California in the last 6 years. So. All right. Canada's economy may soon endure something it hasn't faced in 68 years, according to RCA. BCA, Bank of Canada. Sorry, guys. RCA. Recorder cassette audio. Canada's economy may soon endure something it hasn't faced in 68 years, a recession without the U.S. in the same boat. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yep. If the U.S. economy is doing relatively well and the Fed is raising rates, it's very hard for the Bank of Canada to just sit on hold and not follow the Fed. we're now at the point where the Bank of Canada is going to be filtering with triggering the next recession if it hasn't already. Oh, we're headed into a huge bloodbath in Canada too. UK, every English-speaking country is headed for a bloodbath. Here we go. High credit quality in Canada. High credit quality in Canada should prevent US-style housing crash. This is an older article. Not going to fly. Zillow wants to flip your house. So Zillow's smart. Zillow's buying all the houses for sale, like $200,000 houses, $300,000, and then flipping them for more. Zillow's smart when it comes to this. They know which houses they could buy for dirt cheap in what states. Like right now, you could buy dirt cheap in Fort Worth, Texas, and it's going up like a rocket. You could buy in parts of Nevada. So what they're doing is they're following the pattern of housing and where people are gonna eventually migrate to, and where they're gonna migrate to, where people are fleeing from to where, and then getting that geographical movement of intermigration. You could track where housing will go up. I know that in the whole West Coast, they won't buy your house in the West Coast. You should call Zillow. Hi, I'm in California. Would you buy my house? Like, no, we're not paying $2 million for your detached bungalow. So what? You're only buying $90,000 homes and then selling them back for $140,000? That's what they're doing. So it's kind of a win-win scenario for Zillow doing that. Yep. Seattle's headed for a crash. I've been covering Seattle here for years. No. Since Vancouver put the foreign buyers tax on, I've been covering Seattle. Man, I'm tired, guys. I'm tired. It's been a long weekend. Yeah. But I covered a lot here tonight. Could have covered a bit more. But don't forget to check out Mario DeSetti's The Lost Canuck, please. Check out his channel. And guys, don't forget to check out my channel. I got some new videos up. I got this new David Icke one up here right now. David Icke banned from touring in Australia. And who's stuck in Slavelandia? Huh? Let me know if you're stuck in Slavelandia. I did this one, GTA, renter struggle. Oh, and don't forget to check out this one. I did a video here called Toronto in 1978, the golden years of what Toronto used to look like back in 1978. It's really astonishing what it used to look like. And David Icke banned from touring Australia. What else we got going on here? Chinese investors buying up Athens, Greece. Don't forget to follow that story on my channel, where they're buying up Athens, Greece, left, right, and center. And yeah, a couple of good ones here. Global warming update here. Yeah. Anyways, guys, it's been an hour and 8 minutes. And I'm passing out, man. I'm having a really tough time staying awake. It's really tough doing this, guys. It really takes a lot out of you to do this. And that's why every tip in the tip jar is much greatly appreciated. And if it was the old YouTube, when the AdSense was actually paying fairly, I'd be actually doing okay, actually. Like, okay, I would be actually doing really well. With the amount of subs I have, with the amount of inventory and stuff, I think I'd be doing okay. But now that they've cut back on AdSense, I mean, it's not even. I don't even think you could have dinner with my family. You know, it's a lot of work. And it's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work. Steve wants to call in 3 minutes. Steve, call right now if you want to call, buddy. I'm really tired, man. I want to call it a night. I'm watching videos here of the Azores. See the Azores right here. It's where I'm from. Little town like this. Collect fresh rainwater. You know, just... You know, they have industry. They have everything's modest. Everything's within reason, right? Remember, the bigger it is, the bigger it falls, right, people? Oh, in the summertime, you see these beaches. They're just crowded. It's fun. Kids playing in the sand. This was filmed in December. Yeah. More Azores here. Something's happening. All these channels are like all taken down. I've been trying to watch videos all day and it keeps telling me that the video I'm trying to watch is no longer up. Here it is. Yeah, man, restaurants everywhere. It's good if you like seafood. If you like seafood, there's lots of food to eat. Oh, and then the outdoor balconies. I'm afraid if I take this, because it's a very heavily Roman Catholic, these islands. So I'm afraid if my wife goes, she's Catholic, she'll probably want to stay there and say, no, let's just raise kids here. But these guys have some pretty cool videos here to watch. Yeah. It's like New Zealand without the drama. And the houses are built with poured concrete and orange clay roofing. So the houses are not like if you want to compare them to New Zealand, they're not the same. Yeah, but these people went in December, right? So. Oh my God, that hotel's abandoned. I used to go there when I was a kid. Oh my God. I used to go to this hotel when I was a kid. I used to walk up by my grandma's house, and I used to walk about 45 minutes, and you'd find this abandoned hotel. It wasn't abandoned when I was there. It was not abandoned when I went. Wow. The Rolling Stones stayed there at that hotel many years ago. I remember they stayed at that hotel. They wanted something quiet. I don't know if you guys remember, but... the Rolling Stones took a hiatus for a few weeks, and they were actually staying in that hotel on the mountain. Wow, super surprised. Wow, I can't believe it's abandoned. Anyways, all right, Steve sounds like he's not calling in. Sounds like he's not calling in. It's been a really long week for me, guys. You know, I really put a lot of effort into my channel. And especially when you got people that got channels and they're like, you know, please send a donation. I know what they mean about it right now. When you're in the middle of it and you're putting in X amount of hours a week, you know what they're going through. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the Azores. I keep getting there he is, Steve the plumber. Yo, Stevie, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, Mikey?
Not much. Just falling asleep here. I'm so tired, buddy. You have no idea.
Yeah, you and me both, buddy.
I'm just burnt. It's been a long week, and then just yeah. So what's up? What do you got to tell us? What's happening on the ground?
Well, it's the actual the repossession business is starting to really pick up more than I actually thought. I didn't think it would be this dramatic so quick, so fast. But it appears that it's really above, and Kevin Thompson will embrace this. But it appears that it's houses that are well over $800-900 $1 million. We're not seeing anything in the lower price range escalate, but it's interesting to see how over leveraged people are, and especially with their heat locks maxed out to the point of no return. But there was an interesting article out today on I guess payday loans. Mm-hmm. CNN put it out. I'm not sure if you provider. Next thing you know, they have 4, payday loans, and they should have never been able to get 4 payday loans.
Yep.
Simply due to the fact that they don't make enough to pay it back. And let's keep in mind, the average, take an 80 or 100,000 combined household income. They really can't qualify for much of a mortgage, and it doesn't matter what their down payment is; it's just not going to fit. So, as things come to fruition, and people are no longer able to, their available credit shrinks, and they can no longer keep up the lifestyle. I call them lifestylers. We're starting to see, them basically not be able to afford a roof over their head.
Yeah.
And that's becoming a very, very big problem real quick, real fast. And I don't think people realize how bad it is truly going to get.
Well, Australia has a new article out today. It was reported actually for tomorrow, but today technically for us. Let the bloodbath begin. House prices in Sydney and Melbourne could have the worst crash since 1890.
Really?
Let the bloodbath begin. That's all I have to say, Steve.
Well, I think house prices, depending on the price of where they are today, I think they have the ability to recede truly back to, and Gary Medeiros will appreciate me saying this, to 2012, 2014 levels. I firmly believe that house prices in the GTA that are, that $1.2 million house is not going to be $1.2 million. It is going to go probably back to 2014, maybe 2012.
No, let me weigh in on this one, Steve, because I'm gonna be really on the nose with this one. You got to remember that when you had 2014 prices, a lot of people weren't as over leveraged as they are today.
Okay.
So it's going to be
appreciate that.
It's going to be a lot worse. So because of the over leveraging and the boomers taking out equity and all that stuff, it's going to be a lot worse, Steve. You're going to be looking at like 1984 numbers because it's going to get that bad.
1984, Mike.
Yep, big time. I'm talking about percentage drop, not pricing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm making reference to prices.
No. 83, 84 percentage drops. Yeah, 1983,
Okay.
So we're looking at about a 37% correction still to go.
That I will agree with, absolutely. And a lot of this information is available, and whether it's Gary Medeiros or yourself or Moby, Kevin Thompson, being in denial that he is, you can look at these house prices on these larger homes, and you can look what they were sold for in 2012, 2014, so on and so forth. And you know what? Half the battle, I think, is a psychological issue. Is whether I look at it, Gary looks at it, Moby looks at it, you look at it. They bought it for call it $750,000. Or $700,000 in 2012, 2014, and all of a sudden they want to make $500,000-$600,000 on it.
Exactly. And another problem is, just like the guy from Detroit that called in, remember? He told me that people are wanting their appraisals to come back higher than what they're actually valued at, and that's becoming a big problem. But you have to remember 2012. Prices, you got to remember that the average middle-class family, homeowner family, had an average of $8,000 in their bank accounts at that time. Now they have less than $200.
Yeah.
So that's going to factor in too. That's why this is going to be so catastrophic that it's going to really... But it's going to happen in Australia and the UK. The UK is lucky because they can just blame it on Brexit, so the UK doesn't... Housing Minister and the housing finance and the affordable housing sector doesn't look that bad because they're just going to blame Brexit, right? Canada might just blame Donald Trump. And Australia will just blame... see, that it's really hard. They could just blame foreign investors, but I mean, you know what I mean, right, Steve? So it's like, what do you like? What's going to happen? There's going to be a huge bloodbath, Steve. Everything's changed because back in those times, interest rates were kind of still at historical lows. We've kept interest rates too low too long, and now someone's got to pay the piper, like you say.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. I had dinner last night with our group of buddies, and I saw a internal memo from within lenders, and I guess they've extrapolated the data and they focused in and they zeroed in on where their main bone of contention is for risk. And when they say risk, we're saying people that have basically missed or are behind 1 month's worth of mortgage payments.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody knows, as soon as you get 2 months behind mortgage payments, it's serious business. Letters start flying. And they're not from the lender, they're from their solicitor. That said, we have a situation where 16% of basically mortgages, they've zeroed in on where the problem is. So 16% of all the people that have mortgages between $640,000 and $790,000, 16% of that bracket are behind 1 month's payment.
That's huge. That's incredibly huge. Because that bracket, that percentage of that bracket, you're looking at 23,000 homes.
Right, and you're also probably looking at homes that are over $1 million or were bought for over $1 million.
And that's even a bigger default on the bank. That's gonna have to, the bank's gonna have to, or HMC or whatever the hell you call those losers. They're gonna have to pay the banks.
Well, this is the thing. The banks aren't even looking at their insured book of business because their insured book of business is insured. They don't care about it. They're going to get paid.
Yeah, regardless.
These are conventional mortgages. These are all mortgages with people that have 20% down or greater.
So people are going to lose their down payment. They're going to lose their home, and they're going to pretty much walk away with nothing. And they can't even, a lot of people can't even default. It's going to be really hard to get bankruptcy lawyers involved and to do a proper bankruptcy. Do we have a Toronto Help tip line yet, Steve? I know Australia has one and they're off the hook. They can't, they have to call the police like every other day with people trying to, threatening to commit suicide, Do we have a Toronto helpline for people that are in this position right now? Toronto Financial Helpline or anything yet?
No, we don't. But things are bad when the media isn't coming right out and saying it. But how many people, or how many, BNN, Bloomberg, or news outlets have gone ahead, especially BNN. They've brought on bankruptcy trustee, like credit guys that can help you. Before it gets, too late. They're trying to encourage people to get into a situation where come in earlier, get help when you can go into consumer proposal.
Yeah.
When it's not so far gone. That's when you ideally have a problem. And it's a huge problem simply due to the fact that people are just, they're waiting way too long. They should not be going to get these payday loans thinking that something's going to change, so on and so forth. It's just an absolute disaster. So the short answer and the quick answer to your question is no, we don't. We haven't got there yet. We're going to need to see, some drastic things really come to fruition like we do see in Australia right now in order for that to happen, and that'll be a political move. The province will have to induce that or something along those lines. But I guess what I'm trying to say is all these people that are so over-leveraged, they think that it's just a blip. They're listening to organized real estate. And, you're going to see, just you wait, Mike. Remember we had this conversation, including Kevin Thompson. And for what it's worth, everybody else, remember I said this because it's it has to come to fruition. The spring market, they say, oh, the spring organized real estate, oh, the spring market's going to be great. You know, things are, you know, it's looking promising. The only thing promising for the spring market is you're going to see how many people are frothing at the bit to list their goddamn house because they can't move.
Well, we saw the better dwelling article that I read earlier with the amount of condos on the market, for example. Just an example, man. If it's a supply and demand issue, then the supply that went on the market should invert with the sales. So you should have an invert cross effect that more people are buying than what's on the market because the supply and demand is actually meeting the demand. But it's not a supply and demand issue. They've been stuffing down our throats for the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And now you're going to have an oversupply on the market and a glut on the market that they're going to have to... the question is, how long can they keep this under wraps, Steve, till it really, really starts to hit the media, and the media really needs to actually take a handle on this? What do you think?
I think we're coming up to, I guess it's the 2.5-year mark, is it, since the top of the market?
Yeah.
So in the 89, 90, 91, it took the Toronto Star up until about 95, 96 to admit that we were in a recession and we were in a receding housing market. That's how long it took the Toronto Star to admit it.
Yeah.
I openly believe that because of social media and the internet and everything else, I personally believe that it will take 3 years. It will take 3 years or maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. We're almost there, where they come flat out and say house prices are receding. They're going to continue to recede. We're in a recession. You know, where our output gap is not adding up, and we have some really, really big issues and hurdles ahead of us.
Well, the best part of it is cities are going to have to start raising property taxes to make up the deficits. Because if property prices go down, you see what happened in Vancouver, they have to raise property tax. There's no way these cities are going to keep these deficits going without raising property taxes. And that's going to be another burden.
Toronto just raised their property taxes. I talked to my neighbor,
yeah,
and he told me that they've raised property taxes.
Yep. Yep, you guys pay more than Beverly Hills does for property tax.
Yeah, no kidding. So the long and short of it is, you know, I don't have any huge big news to really add. All I can say is, as everything starts to come to fruition, we've been talking about this for quite some time. You know, including what Mario had to say the other night when I was on the phone with him. Builders are in trouble. They're sitting on land. They're not going to be able to sit on the land forever. They're going to have to do something with it. Or maybe they have deep enough pockets that they will just, you know, they'll sit on it until the market comes back, or they figure out something. Who knows? I know that a lot of organized real estate and builders as well, they are absolutely frothing at the bit for the Liberal government to step in and increase amortizations to 30 or 35 years.
Yeah, I read that article a few days ago. I have it here. Let me see. I got my page open here. Where was it? It's here. Let's get into more Dead Canada. Where was it? It was a really good video. Got a lot of views too. It's here somewhere. I know it's in my videos. Yeah. So no, this is more job closures. I'm just trying to find the video so people could watch it.
Hang on, I just want to answer somebody in the comment section. Jason Dent, I couldn't even remotely begin to fathom when the Utah bubble will pop. I think that's what you're making reference to.
Oh,
I don't
Utah?
follow that market.
Oh,
I don't know Utah well enough.
I do.
You can comment on it.
I've been following Salt Lake City, Utah, and Salt Lake City, Utah is still going to go for another... Salt Lake City, Utah, you're looking at... You're going to be looking...
I would really need to know what the average household income is and what the average house price is in order to even quantify how big their bubble is.
Okay, so I did a few Salt Lake City, Utah videos already. What's happened is there's a mass house exodus or house, what do you call those, refugees, housing refugees from Seattle and King County and from Portland, Oregon, and they've been moving to Salt Lake City, Utah. I did a huge Utah show actually a few months ago. I'm going to check my channel for it. And what's happening is I'm thinking by fall, because Nevada, here it is, Utah housing disaster must watch 4 months ago. Utah housing trends. I made actually quite a few Utah housing videos. But no, Utah, I think fall. Because right now Nevada is reaching its tipping point. The average benchmark house in Nevada is around 265. So they're already reaching unaffordability levels in parts of Nevada. And I think Utah is looking at densifying or going into more densified housing. Like they want to create more condos instead of land and backyards. And that's the big mistake Utah's doing right now. I think I'm really against that. They got lots of good land. They can build lots of housing for people. But your answer to that is I think by the fall, because right now Nevada's taking a kick in the pants, and so is Arizona's taking a bit of a kick in the pants. The two cities right now is Salt Lake City and Fort Worth, Texas in the United States that are big deals right now where everyone's looking at to move to because jobs are doing well. And it's a little bit different, you know. Utah homes went from 177 to about 225, and they're going to keep going up into the 300s. Hopefully, by fall, things should be cooling down.
Yeah, that's some good insight on that. I wanted to also just tell you, Mike, there's going to be some information coming out over the next couple of months. There is an astronomical problem within Toronto real estate, and I'm sure it spreads out quite a bit. I think we may have touched this on one other occasion, but there's a big problem with duplicate listings. So basically, that's throwing off the sales data. And what they're doing is they're organized real estate is listing a house twice on MLS, and two MLS numbers go ahead and are basically published. And Trev, for a fact, goes ahead and basically takes their data based on the MLS number.
Yes.
Now,
yeah.
that MLS number, when that house gets sold, it's counted twice.
Oh, to make it look all proppy, eh?
Yeah, it's a huge concern. And if anybody wants to challenge that, I encourage you, spend 5, 10, 15 minutes on Realtor.ca, and I'm telling you, it's a huge issue. That's just one more nail in the coffin why nobody should be relying on organized real estate sales numbers for the purposes of measuring how a real estate market is in terms of the current state and condition of the market, let alone the future of the market, because their numbers can't be relied upon.
Nope. No, obviously not. You know, if they have shadow lending, shadow flipping, shadow this, shadow that, what makes you think they're not going to lie about the skew the numbers for sales and time on the market and blah, blah, blah. It's a bunch of garbage, Steve. It's all a bunch of Ponzi garbage. I just hope people are smart and people put their thinking caps on and do their own research. Do not depend on your broker. Do not depend on your bank. Do not depend on your real estate agent. Do not depend on anybody but yourself to research what you're getting into, especially when you're buying a home. Especially if you're looking to buy in this market right now. We don't recommend to, but if you do decide in the next year or two and decide to want to buy, you do your research. You don't depend on anybody.
Yep. Absolutely. Go ahead and talk to as many people as you possibly can. And if it feels right, hey, you know what? Who are we to say don't buy? In actual fact, if it's what you need to do and you're in the right spot and the right position and you feel as though it's the right move, then you know what? Go ahead and buy that overpriced real estate. But it's Briggs is actually absolutely right. You know, don't trust, verify, and you know, and that's the $1 million question. How do you verify things? especially when we have a corrupt real estate organization running the show.
You don't.
They're not governed by anything.
You don't. You have to start looking into things yourself. You have to start verifying incomes and verifying what the average incomes are, verifying how many days in the market, verifying through comparables. You have to do your own research, create your own graphs. And you're probably thinking, Mike, are you crazy? No. Spend 3 months so you don't have to spend the rest of your life regretting it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you. I think right now people need to really look at Canada as a whole, and I guess look at what people are investing in that's truly Canadian. And the only thing, it's a double-edged sword. We hate bank fees, but the only thing Canadians are actually buying right now that is truly Canadian is bank stocks.
Mm-hmm.
That should tell you something.
Well, it's dividend payouts, right? And keeping their buddies happy. I did a story about that. Banking investors in banking are keeping their pockets filled as artificially low interest rates bankrupts Canadians. I did a story about that.
Yep. It's going to be one wild ride, Mike, and I don't know where the bottom is. All I know is we're not there yet, and I think we got a ways to go. And the proof is in the pudding. People are going to continue to, bankruptcies are going to continue to rise. The power sales and foreclosures, however which way you want to put it, are going to continue to escalate, and house prices are going to come down. And I fully expect that we will see a gong show in terms of an astronomical amount of inventory within, I guess, the spring market's right around the corner.
Yeah, it is. 5 weeks.
March, April.
5 weeks to go, buddy, and I'm counting the weeks to this day, buddy. I want to bring this out now, and I'm gonna bring it out now because we need to. A lot of people think it's gonna get easy when house prices go down. They're not, because interest rates will go up and property taxes will skyrocket, and housing prices go down. We're gonna have this, and then somebody asked me the other day, Steve. Well, how's the working class or people working at Tim Hortons or people at McDonald's gonna have to pay for this housing crisis? They're gonna get taxed more, okay? The rents are gonna go up because property taxes will go up, right? So interest rates go up, and you're renting a unit from a landlord, and he's got a mortgage on it. He's gonna be raising your interest rate. Everyone's gonna be affected. But here's the deal: even if let's say housing prices go down 50%, they're just going to raise property tax because they have these cities expenditures. They're used to getting in all this money. They want to get that same money in. How are they going to cover their expenses? How are the cities going to do it? They can't. They're going to have to raise property taxes, and in turn, they're going to have to raise interest rates because the banks aren't going to take the loss anymore. So this is going to be a huge thing. So property prices go down 50%, it won't be that easy still. Look at how much property taxes are. Because there's some places, some people with these detached bungalows in Vancouver that are paying over $11,000 a year in property taxes for a house built in 1910, 1,400 square foot.
Yeah, because as soon as that financial, revenue engine is not firing on all cylinders, and it's really only going off on one or two cylinders. The moment it starts, it stops. There's going to be, they got to find alternative means and measures to supplement what it takes to run, for example, the city of Toronto. And for those of you who don't know, the city of Toronto, you get a double whammy, and so a municipal, you pay municipal. And basically provincial land transfer tax.
Steve, that was the government's bread and butter for so long, was the land transfer tax. What are they going to do now to nothing selling? That's the problem. How is the city going to flip the bill for these expensive ventures they're getting into? Did you see that article I read at the beginning of the show? $683 billion towards... $683 million towards Indigenous housing. and they're going to fork another $3 billion in First Nations reparations. Like, how are they going to flip these bills? Right? It's the guy. It's the guy working at the McDonald's that's got to do it, and the middle class, white collar, blue collar workers. You know, you could forget about it if you're.
Whoa. Moby just said that there's talk of a City of Toronto sales tax.
Yeah, I've been.
Are you talking like a VAT, like a value-added tax, Moby?
Yes, he is. We've been talking about this. I brought it up in my show today. I brought it up on my thing today, not my show. I brought it up in today's video, the city tax of Toronto. So you're going to have a provincial sales tax, a federal tax for the country, and a city tax. But I think the city tax, how it's going to work, it's going to be the GTA. Because there's no way people in Toronto, they'll just drive north to Steeles and buy something there and do their grocery shopping in Woodbridge. They don't have to do it in Toronto. So I think they're going to make a huge GTA added value tax, about 2-3%.
Holy crap.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for, I don't know, ask Peter, ask Moby. We've been talking about this now for almost a year.
Yeah, I knew that they were going to raise property taxes.
Oh, they have to, Steve. They have to raise. So, guys, waiting for the housing market to correct itself. It's not going to correct itself under, what do you call it? Comparative measures that it had in the past. It won't be the same like other crashes. There's too much stipulations that were put in to keep it going for too long that it's going to be so bad that you're going to every human being in the border of within the borders of Canada is going to be affected by this, Steve. I don't care if they're couch surfing, even if they're homeless, they'll be affected by it. Everyone will be affected by this, Steve. And that's how bad it's going to get. And if they add the added value tax on per city, all I have to say is the sign of the cross.
Kumbaya.
Yep.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's funny, we were talking and amongst the guys, and I just said, so, you know, what's the happy-go-lucky here? And their whole thought process is many people are waking up and saying, I don't want to own this big, high-priced real estate.
Mm-hmm.
It's too volatile. There's not enough buyers for these, you know, these qualified buyers for these, you know, $1.2, $1.5 million homes.
Mm-hmm.
There just is, it just isn't there. You know, and a lot of people are refusing to spend that amount of money. They want the detached house. They absolutely do.
Steve, who's going to spend $2 million on a bungalow? Give me a break. It wasn't.
Who's going to spend $1 million on a bungalow? Mike?
Steve, it was no more than 8-9 years ago, and a detached bungalow was $290,000-$300,000.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I guess the moral of the story is I think people are finally waking up.
It is.
And saying, do I really need this much of a house? And is this house really going to retain its value?
Well, no. We know it's not. We know it's not. And remember, buying a house is one of the most important decisions, financial decisions you'll make in your entire life. Research it for 3 months before you go ahead and Steve, I got an email from somebody in Toronto. They sent me an email saying, Mike, I remember you asking me, when is a good time to buy in the market? I asked you that, Mike, many times, and you did a show just for me. And I said, you take an MLS listing that you want to buy, and then you print it off, put it on your wall, and then get a bunch of sticky notes and put notes on it. And then pull 4 or 5 comparables in that area where you want to buy your house. And if it goes up for 2 quarters in a row, then you buy. But if it keeps going down, don't buy. So he's been following several homes that have been on the market now for over 1.5 years since he messaged me. And he messaged me today saying, it's been going down every month. And Mike, if I bought in when I thought it was right, I'd be underwater by $160,000 is what he told me today.
What was the house price?
I think the house price was like $997.
Yep, that's about right. Yep, okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, he told me. He emailed me. He's like, Mike, man, you have no idea. Your idea, I still have the original MLS houses that I did want to buy, and I printed off the comparables like you asked me to. I've been following it. I have over 100 sticky notes on one of the papers, and you were 1,000,000% right about when to kind of gauge the market. and kind of gauge it in a way if you're just specifying on one specific property. You could just gauge that one property and follow the comparables. And I told him, if the house sells that you want, look at the comparables and kind of move things around a bit. And he says the house is still on the market a year and a half later.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Want to also give you an update on, as a final thought, I'll let you go, Mike. Home equity lines of credit, they are going to be going through with, I guess, OSFI is going to be implementing it very, very shortly.
Mm-hmm.
All signs appear and point to that they are going to be putting some sort of amortization on your heat lock.
Okay. So they're going to put an amortization now because they want it actually paid off, no more interest only.
That's right. So there will be a certain amount that is due above and beyond interest only, because the exposure is far too great in a declining house price environment, if you will.
So how does Kevin Thompson feel about this?
Well, if Kevin Thompson's combined household income is $80,000, and he has a mortgage debt / heat block of $270,000, he's pretty maxed.
Yeah, he is. He is.
I mean, he's mastered the art of sucking and blowing at the same time, because one minute he owns and he runs a disposal company, and tonight he came on and said that he is unemployed, and I quote, wakes up at 9 or 10 a.m. every morning. So I don't know what Kevin Thompson's all about.
He's saying he's maxed out. He's saying it right there. We should get Kevin Thompson and you on the show. I really want to get him on the show.
Mike, I already said it tonight. I give my third nut to get that guy on the show.
I really want to get Kevin Thompson. He's a pretty popular on my channel. He's like very, very popular on the channel. I'd love to have him on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love for him to explain how he can wake up at 9 or 10 o'clock every morning, be in debt $270,000, have a combined household income of $80,000, be unemployed. So I guess his wife is his sugar mama, and still sleep at night.
Yeah, I wish I could get Kevin Thompson on the show. It'd be so good.
But, yeah, I think it would be great. But I think Peter's home now. I'm not sure if.
I'm going to sleep, buddy.
Very well then. So good to be with you, Mike.
Oh,
I'll
Steve.
let you go, and we'll chat soon.
Steve, one more thing. I need you to see my Toronto 1978 video I made.
Yeah, okay, I'll take a look at that.
Go to my channel, go to my videos, and then go to Toronto 1978. It's called 1978: The Golden Years.
You bet. I'll take a look at it. Good to be with you, Mike. Take care. Bye for now.
Thank you. Good night. Bye. It's the early hours in Toronto with Steve the plumber, bringing us breaking news. Check out my new one, guys. Toronto 1978. Guess who this is, guys? Guess who this is? You'll never guess who that is. Well, you'll know who that is, but you can't even tell who that is. He's so young there. This was taken in Toronto. That's John Candy to the left. Very famous Canadian actor. I really looked up to this guy. And that's Bill Murray. Look how young he is there. Oh my God. 1978. Guys, check out my 1978 Toronto. There's lots of people commenting. Not a lot, only 5 comments, but it's getting views. Check that one out. Check out the one that's causing so much hype, where it got flagged for racism. Where is it? Right here. Sydney, Australia, 1955. Wow, she's cute. Check out this. Just a couple of rare clips and stuff I got from people of what Sydney, Australia used to look like in 1955. And I've gotten a lot of problems with this video. It's already been taken down once. It's already been demonetized, and it's already been already flagged. I I just kind of wish, I don't know, I can't see nothing wrong with the video. Let me know. It's called Sydney, Australia, 1955. And guys, don't forget to join and subscribe to my main channel. It's going to be another month to go, and I'll be able to stream on the main channel now. I don't have to use my backup channel anymore. Yeah. Good times ahead. Yeah. So I got to be really careful. Guys, we got to be really careful when we come on the show, when people come on the show, what we say. We got to be really careful because we're having a lot of problems already with my channel, and I'm not doing anything wrong. Maybe I am, and I'm just delusional. I can't see what I'm doing wrong. And, you know, a lot of people that have sicknesses like this don't admit they have a sickness until somebody kicks it in their head. Maybe I'm one of those people, and I just can't admit there's something wrong with me, and maybe I'm talking about that shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, guys, I'm going to get some sleep. I'm extremely tired. I'm pushing through for you guys, you know. I'm putting this together for you guys all the time. I'm always there for you guys. So, anyways, let me know what you guys think. I'm going to hit the sack. Don't forget to join us for Mike in the Night. I'll be more perkier. I'll get an afternoon nap. I'll get an afternoon nap on Saturday, so I'll be wide awake for Saturday night. I'll even probably have a few drinks too. Maybe drink with you guys. And yeah, we'll just kind of do our thing, you know, Saturday nights. Look what's on here, like on YouTube, like all my good stuff. Now I got global news recommended for me. Like, really? This is all state-run media. Look, all these late-night talk shows. Look, Rosie O'Donnell. Ooh, Rosie O'Donnell's on the show. Ooh, I got to be careful what I say, because if I tell people how I truly feel about Rosie O'Donnell, it might be a problem, right? So I don't want to go there. Yeah, Donald Trump. Yeah, Donald Trump. Everything's about Donald Trump for her. Anyways. Don't forget to join me for Mike in the Night, guys. Don't forget to hit me up in the tip jar. I really appreciate it. And let's see if we can get Kevin Thompson on Wednesday's show next Wednesday. We really need to peer pressure Kevin Thompson to come on the show. And I would be very appreciative if he did come on the show. Anyways, guys, I'm going to bed, man. This Saturday, guys, Mike in the Night, don't forget. And big hug to everybody and all our supporters and all the people that called in. And have yourselves a good night, okay, guys?